Hi there. This is H. Victoria Hargrove Ackerson. I'm an author and a writer, and there are a lot of elements that go into doing your first book, and we're going to continue that series today. Um, we're getting ready to publish, right? So there's a couple of things you need to know. The last time we talked about getting your book cover designed, what needs to be on the back and the front. And also, we talked about the fonts that need to go on that page and the different methods you could use to create your own title page, not your own title page, but your own cover page. Like this one, I got my brother to do some artwork to do this particular painting and also this one. And the fonts you see are different on each book. So how you do that is your choice. And these are all are done. Like I said, I love art, so I look for any opportunity to put my family's artwork on my covers because I think they're fabulous artists. Another way you can do this is to do just fonts. That means only letters. You can just use the title, your graphics, that you put that are specific to you. You may create them or you can adapt some. I think there are some that can be commonly used from different software tools that you can buy. Or you can take a photograph or have a professional take a photograph. And you also need to get a picture of yourself to put on your book, either on the inside or the outside of your book. Short summary, a short bio, and a summary of the book on the back. Okay? Alrighty. Now, for the next phase, we're going to talk about what goes in that book because you're still getting compiling pages of your manuscript. So once you get your chapters stacked up together in chapter order, then you need to do a title page. And you can see this particular one. And there's usually two. This is the second title page with the author's name there. And on the back of this title page, which is the formal title page, this is the formal title page, you're going to have your copyright page, which is right here. It has your Library of Congress numbers and all the subsequent material that you need for that. And then you have your dedication, who you're going to dedicate your book to. You can do a family member, a friend, a group, anyone you want to. It's your book. So that's something you want to do. And this particular one goes straight to chapter 1. Now, in some books, it is a good idea to introduce a particular topic that you're writing about to your reader. And you may want to do an introduction, which I've done here with Buttermilk Bottom because I thought it was important for some historical information to go into the book to tell people what exactly Buttermilk Bottom was. And you're going to have acknowledgments. You can do that if you like. People you like to thank to help you with the book or gave you feedback on the book, this is a good place to do that. And let's see what else is in here. We talked about dedication page and notes about yourself. Just a little synopsis of who you are as a writer. And another idea, which is a really great, I didn't do that until later on, which I never thought to do before until my sister suggested it. We have the title page. We have the copyright page. We have the introduction. And in this particular introduction, I talk about my motivation for writing the book. So that's kind of another way that you can do that. And chapter 1. And I think there's another thing in here that you may want to do. If you have any other titles, you may want to list them also. This is a good idea. My sister Jerry was a librarian, and she suggested that I do that. So if people read this book and they like it, they may want to check out some of my other works, which is a good idea. Okay, so those are things that you want to consider inside your book. Now, there you can put anything in your introduction you like. There are many ways of doing that by introducing the topic, as I did in Buttermilk Bottom, to tell people what Buttermilk Bottom was like. And most importantly, it was a real place. It's a fictitious story, but it took place in a real um, environment, and that place did exist. And it was important for me to have people to know that, because a lot of times when our communities get knocked down, they are forgotten about immediately. So that was important to me to get that point over. So, which I did in Bottom Up Bottom as an introduction. In Enslaved, I wanted to talk about, um, in the introduction, I want to talk about how we form attitudes, because that was the motivation for slavery in the first place. How people looked at other people, people who had money and wanted to make more money. They looked at people as commodities instead of human beings, because they saw us as animals, really, and did not consider our humanity. And that comes from a particular type of thought. So, in my introduction, I talked a little bit about that. So, there are many things you can do in the introduction. Of course, your acknowledgments of all are always a good idea, to say thank you to people for supporting you, family members, people who read your book, whoever, it does not matter. But those things are great. You need to compile those pages also, and they get placed on top of your chapter page. Now, if you have in, any other what you call back matter that you want to put in the back of your book, maybe some more notes about your research, how you did the book, what, where did you do your research, things of that sort. That goes in the back of the book. In Stones Along the Path, I think I put in the back, because I love, one of the things I love about writing is um, names. I love to research names, and those names that I collect, I keep records of them, and I keep the meaning. I think it's really important. Um, Names, I think, are destinations. So I think it's very important that we are careful how we name our children, because that's one of the things that I think is very important. Anyway, you could put that in back of the book also, um, to put those names back there. I thought I had done it in this book, but I did not. So it's in one of these books. Excuse me. And in Bottom, here's some back matter. This is memoirs from my people who lived in Bottom, who had some notes to that they want to include it about what was there. We have the notes from a police officer who worked in Bottom. His name was Mr. Davis, and he worked there starting in 1958. So he knew the people who lived in Bottom. So it's a good idea not only to write the book, but also to tell of other people who had exposure to that community. And another one from my brother Bartlett. He had some memoirs, and my nephew Larry had some notes that they wanted included in there also. So I think it's a good idea to use that. Oh, here's one in the back matter: characters, names, and meaning of the names and the meaning of those names, where those names came from, and where they originated. So that's one of the things I put in there. And in this case, I put about the author in the back of the book. So that's something that you can consider. Those, it's your book. You can do whatever you like with it, but those are just some things that you can do. Okay, I won't keep you any longer because we want to keep these brief as possible, although there is a lot to cover. But I think you get the idea. You're going to be layering all these external things onto your book. Your back matter, which is in the things that may be of interest to the reader after they finish reading the book, and your introduction, your dedication, your title page, your copyright page, all those things, your acknowledgments, you want to put in there. You can decide where they go. Okay. But, there is a pattern of doing this, and a good way to select the things that you want to do for your book is to look in books that you love and see what they did, see what those authors did. Okay. So anyway, you take care, and love to you.